everybody, this is Jan from Jan's Art. Today I'm going to do a digital portrait of an ex-miner. In fact, the ex-miner is my dad, Edward Shimshuk. So this is an old photograph that I have of my dad. And what I've done is I've scanned it into, let's just show you. I've scanned it into my iPad, and it's an iPad 12.9. I'm using an Apple Pencil, and what I've done is I've cleaned up an image of the sketch that I'm going to do. So it's going to be, this is the cleaned up version. This is where I want it. I'll end up putting a pit helmet on him and mucky up his face and put some work clothes on him. But this is what I want. I want a picture of him as he was when he wasn't in the pit. Okay, so what I've done first is I've traced an outline. Now if I just show you, there I've traced an outline from the photograph that I had cleaned up originally. So I've got my outline, so I can zoom in, and all the drawing and sketching that I'm going to be is going to be on a layer just underneath this outline, so I can see where I am and keep it all in proportion to where I want it to be. This is the advantage of drawing on an iPad as opposed to drawing on a piece of paper. Okay, so there's my outline. Now I also have a reference of the, a reference of my father's photo that I can use while I'm drawing it, you see. So it's going to be a lot easier. Right, so I'll do the actual sketch on this layer here. There's nothing on it. But before I do that, what I want to do is I want to start with the eyes. So I make sure I'm on the layer that has the little reference, and I'm just gonna put in a little mask around the eyes. I'm just gonna copy and paste that. Right, so I've got an outline around the eyes, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna move them, and this way I've got them there, so when I'm drawing I can see exactly what I'm doing when I'm drawing. This is a great feature you can do instead of having to constantly look at a photograph and then look at your drawing, and it's right there. You can't make any mistakes. You can see it as it really is. So I've got my eye references now. So let's go back to the sketch. I'm just going to lock these. Now the reason I lock things is it stops me sketching on a layer that I shouldn't, or by accident if I skip over to it. So what I'll do is I'm going to start with the eyes. So I'm in a Procreate pencil, and it's a nice pencil. I mean, there's other pencils I could choose, like the 6B. Let me show you the 6B. This is the 6B. It's got a side. I don't like it too well. I like the Procreate pencil. It just seems to work much nicer. And I can do very fine shading, see? I can press harder, and I just like it, the default pencil. Right, so I've used the default pencil. I'm in black because it's just going to be a black and white drawing. So let's set the thickness that I want and the opacity. Okay, so what I'm going to start doing with this is, let's just See, I was on the wrong layer. Let's just, whoa, what's happened there? Oh, you see, I've skipped over to a different brush. So let's get my sketching. That's the brush I wanted, my Procreate brush. So let's undo that. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in the eyes. Okay, let's just get some shading in there. Okay, it's a lovely little brush just to begin doing your shading, you see. Let's move over to the other eye. Now you can see I've left some little white circles. These are the highlights. Right, now did you notice something? That eye there, because I changed the angle of the pen, I'm getting stronger lines. I don't want that. Whereas in this one I got nice smoky lines. So let's just go back and get the smoky lines. See? I've changed the angle of my pencil that I'm holding, and it gives me a lovely little shading effect. Okay? So I've started the eyes right. Now let's zoom in and start doing the eyelids, because I can see those. Now anybody who uses pencils in their drawings, they know that the harder you press, the darker the pencil becomes. And this is true for the Apple pencil. See how I'm getting a darker line there, see? And let's do this eyelid here. Oops. Get that smoky tone. Just press a little bit stronger. There we go. See? So we can start to get the shadings done, where the creases are and everything. Another thing I want to do is I just want to add, while I'm here, I'm just going to cross hatch an eyelid. See? Just an edge of an eyelid. And on this one here, he's got 2 creases in his eyelid, on his left eye. So let's just work on that. Just gradually putting in the drawing, the shades, see? There's no hurry, just take your time. Right, and these 2 creases seem to join. It just gets a little bit of something inside. Now I can just shade lightly inside the eyelid, see? And I'll do the same on this side. And there's a little bit of shading, a crease in between the eyes. So let's put that in there. There's a little bit of something happening there. A little bit of shading that I can see. So I'm going to put that in. There's a little bit of lighter skin, a little nubble of skin just there. So I'm going to put that in. I'm just constantly keeping my pencil on the iPad screen. This is just like I would do if it was paper and using a pencil. My favourite pencil I would use would be a 2B, not the 6B, it's just too soft. And the Procreate pencil just reminds me of having a 2B pencil, because you can just put in all the shading you want, see? So let's just do the eye, bit of shading there. Now the whites of the eyes aren't white, they are a grey, so I can go in and put some smoky colours in there, see? We have a little bit of lines, crease lines down here, look, so let's just put that in there. Now we've got some eye wrinkles. Okay. Now we're starting to get some form and shape to the depth to the eyes, see? Let's get this angle just the way you want it. Get the shading in, look. A little bit darker and thicker up here, look. See? If my reference is in the way, oops, which it is, I'm going to move my reference and lock it. Oh, that wasn't the reference, that's the reference. Lock it. Just keep it out of the way so I can still see it, but it just gives me a bit more movement around the eyes. Okay, so let's go back to my sketch. Let's just lock these, because in the habit of locking the layers you don't want stops you making mistakes. Okay, right, so I'm starting to get the eyes, and what I want to do is I just want to go back into the actual eyeball. I've changed my pencil so it's darker. This is like I would be drawing with the point of my pencil. I've had a very sharp pencil, see? So let's just get that in there. This is the eye. See the difference? Whoops, undo that. So I'm just doing a little bit of hatching just in the eye. Okay, so I'm making it a lot darker. There we go. And because I've made it darker, there's more definition in the eye. Okay, so let's just add a little bit of hatching up here, look, and just carrying it on. A little bit of hatching here, look. So a little bit of hatching here. These are the wrinkles, the corners of the eye, see? Right, can you see what I've done so far? Oops, keeps going to the eraser. I keep activating my eraser. The beauty of this is I can see exactly. I'm looking at my reference above the eyes where I'm actually drawing, and I can see my reference. It really does help your drawing if you're drawing and I can see the comparison and it's really close. I used to do this when I was drawing with pencils. Sometimes my reference, I would print off my reference and cut out little bits of it so I could move around the drawing, just like I'm doing with this bit. And just keep shading, maybe a little bit of cross hatching, look. That's better. It's nice and soft and gentle, this pencil, look. So it lets you put things on as light as you want or as dark as you want. Just learning how to do it, okay? A little bit dark there. That's the beauty. If you go too dark or put a line somewhere and you don't like it, you can easily change it. So it's not a major. So let's add some shading. So I'm coming down the nose a little bit. Let's add a little bit of tone to this area here, see? So I'm doing some eye shading here. Just above the eye where the brows are, see? I'm putting some very light shading just over everything, and it just brings it all together, see? There we go. Now, I also like to use bits of hatching, but break them up and just put different angles of hatching. I find it works nice. Okay, right now I'm starting to get what I want. These wrinkles are a little bit strong, so I'm going to mush them up with some shading, some hatching, see? It just breaks up the shading. Let's just do a little bit of shading here, the corner of the eye. Get a nice little rhythm going with your pencil on the screen, see? The more you cross hatch, the more your pencil lines become like what I call a pencil wash, where you begin to lose your strokes, and it's just it's like I was painting with a pencil watercolour, if there was such a thing. I'm just adding a few little tones. Let's just zoom out, see where I am. Oh yes, we're getting there, see? Right, let's move on to the other eye. So I'm going to start with getting in between darker, see? Because I'm using the point of the Apple Pencil. It's as if I was using the point of a pencil, so I can really do some nice sharp detail, get it really dark. See? There we go. Let's just bring in this shading just a bit more. Let's just work on this bit of shading here. I've got a horrible little line there. It's probably in the outline that I've made. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase it. There. Let's look at that again. Let's go back to the sketch. It's just a line that I did, but I must have slipped and it looked like a little bit of hair. So let's work on the other eye. I'm just putting in the shading. There's a darker patch here. Let's just put that in there, see? That's it. Let's just join it. I'm just cross-hatching at the minute. just looking for little bits of tone and shadow that I can see. There we go. I've got this like piece of shadow just under the eye, the bags of the eye, see? So I want to get that in there. Now, I'm going to use an eraser, and my eraser is going to be the same as my pencil. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to erase some of this line, see? So I'm actually drawing with an eraser now, see? Go back to my pencil and I can marry it up so it blends in a little bit better, see? There we go. Let's get something across the eyes. That's it. A little bit of shading on this side. I do like the cleanness of drawing on an iPad. It really is. You don't smudge anything by putting your hand over it. I can quickly join the eyes. I'm just going over and joining the two entities of the two eyes, see? Once I'm happy where I'm going with this, let's do some shading here with the wrinkles on this side, see? Oh, this is lovely. This is just going on beautiful. See a little bit of shading, shadow just underneath on the lower lid. Let's just put that in there. That's it. Let's just join up. Now see those two lids, they look a little bit lighter than the rest of the shading, so I'm just going to go over and just push them back into the drawing, see? That's better. Never happy with your initial lines, always going over them, trying to marry up your drawing so it's all the same tonal quality. There isn't any lighter bits, there isn't any darker bits. Right, I'm just doing the nose now. The top of the nose. Let's just work on some of this shading around the eyes, see? And all I'm doing is just a little bit of hatch work. There we go, see? angle of your pencil when you hold it give you different thickness, strength of line. It's just learning what's the best one to use. Don't press too hard, just do it nice and faint. There you go. Now there's a little thing here called a smudger. Okay, now if I put that into the same mode as my Procreate, I can actually smudge some of these lines. Okay. Just increase it a little bit. There we go. Now I'm just smudging it, some of my lines. Just making it more blended in, see? But I'm not going too crazy. I've got like half opacity, 50%. All I'm doing is I'm just softly going over my lines, see? It's not erasing them, it's blending them in, see? I could use the eraser, but that just takes away. This is actually moving the pencil strokes and the hatching around. See this area here, look, see? Go close, you can see where I've just smudged it. Just enough, see? There we go, look at that. See, now that looks better when you zoom out. You have to zoom out just to see where you are, where you're going with it. Let's go back to my pencil. Let's see, I'm relying now on the other reference. And what I'm doing is I'm just putting in some shading on the nose. Looking at the nose on the bigger reference, I can't see it on the eyes. There you go. Just going over my smudging with a very fine line pencil. It really is very fine what I'm doing here. Just joining it all together so it's one and the same, see? Just join the middle bits again. Sometimes if you move too fast, your lines become too separated. So you have to draw between them, see? There we go. Right, let's have a look at that. There's my eyes. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of my reference. That's what I've done so far. Not a bad start. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll continue with this with the rest of the portrait. Anyway, happy drawing everybody. Bye. But thanks for watching, and happy drawing, happy painting everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.